We're waiting.
It's going. Oh, is it going?
Oh,
YouTube
is doing something.
YouTube
Started.
is doing it.
Going. Yeah. Twitch is working. That was Twitch. Twitch is running.
Fantastic.
Apparently we are.
Done this before.
Yeah. Yeah. Twitch is working. That was Twitch. Twitch is running. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah. What are you using as a webcam? Are you using a GoPro as a webcam?
No.
What are you using as a webcam?
Panasonic GH5.
You're using your actual camera as a webcam?
Yeah.
No wonder it looks so good.
The rig's got 2 built-in capture cards too, so it's just all rigged in.
I was feeling bring my GoPro and up top to see if that made a improvement. But yeah,
because that's how. Because if you remember, that's how we did the podcast before, wasn't it? Back in the garage, we plugged a GoPro into one of my capture cards and ran it that way. Yeah,
I found my GoPro Hero 4 the other day.
God, Hero 4, you rich bastard.
I know. I'm sort of, I said I'm in the market for a digital screen. So I've basically also I've had a load of bills paid. So my business account's looking quite flush at the moment.
You rich bastard.
I can actually push out. Do you know what I nearly bought the other day?
Go on.
Based on a YouTube guy who's he does DSLR videos. He's got a whole channel it's quite good stuff. He's he's really helped me with my color grading. Showing how to do it scientifically. Use actual meters and stuff. It's quite cool and how. And he was showing this. It's about 10-year-old. You put these 10-year-old cinema cameras that we used to shoot things like the Phantom Menace, that sort of films. And they were brand new, about $20,000. You can pick them up used now for about $600-700.
Oh, that is DSLR video shooter.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
I also watched this thing. Oh, I quite love that camera. That looks really cool.
Oh, there you go.
So I started looking it up, and you can pick them up at £500.
So is that what you're going for?
Oh, it's tempting.
He's tempted.
It's tempted because it does look a cool bit of kit. Then you think to yourself, how much longer is that going to last? That bit of kit. But then if it's cinema grade, if it's production level quality, it should be quite robust.
Yeah,
you'd hope.
You'd hope. And it turns out it's made out of tissue paper and
PVA
glue.
Yeah. All right, good evening, the TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 143 of the Rand Nerds podcast. Today is July the 4th, Traitor Day.
Yeah, we finally got rid of the Yanks.
Yeah, we did, yeah. Thank goodness. Seeing what they've turned into, thank goodness.
Bloody riffraff.
Yeah, I know we've got Bojo, but really, thank goodness we escaped from them.
Well.
So, thank goodness we extracted when we did Skazz.
Yeah, we avoided permadeath on that one. What's worse, permadeath or complete embarrassment?
Debatable. Yeah, so, hello, Ollie, welcome. So that segues us quite nicely into games we've both been playing, which is basically the same game we were playing last time, except Skazz has gone mad for it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I will be honest, last night I was a bit ragged with it, but go on, say.
We are still playing Hunt Showdown. Now, I just want to say Skazz has got mad with it. I'm still rank 18. Skazz, what rank are you now?
70, I think.
There you go. Getting on my first one of the first injuries, I'm not sure, I'm not too sold on this game, all that sort of stuff. Now he's ranked 70.
Well, I didn't realise actually it was a game I'd seen years ago, but it was like a Left 4 Dead clone.
It's not that old a game though.
No. When it was originally conceived, I remember seeing a trailer from Crytek for their kind of new game. It was called Hunt something, but it was basically Left 4 Dead.
Is this some sort of spiritual sequel? It is Hunt Showdown, isn't it?
Well, because
which implies it's a sequel to something.
The studio got shut down, and the game got binned off. And then they moved development from, I think it was somewhere in Yankeeville, to Germany?
It must be Germany. It must be Germany. It's because their event that they're currently doing at the moment, which will be over by the time if you're one of the audio listeners. this will be over by the time you hear this. But the event they're doing ends on Monday at 3 p.m. Central European time. They actually say Central European time, which is about 1 p.m. here in the UK. So they're doing a cool event, quite a good event at the moment.
Yeah. Well, it's handy until you prestige, apparently.
Oh, right.
Because it resets. So when you prestige, it resets a load of your stuff. So good luck with that.
Yeah. So yeah, but 100 having a great time. So the event they're doing at the moment was that if you watch the event, if you link your Twitch account to your game account, either through Steam, Xbox, or PS4 account, then by just watching the streams, you'll just get unlocks and drops.
It has to be a Crytek sponsored stream.
Yeah, one of their official streams. So yeah, hence my PC has been watching streams 24 out of 7 since Monday.
I think there's only 7 legendary drops.
Of which I've got 2.
And then there are buckets full of extra stuff. So like hunt dollars, blood bonds, standardized guns, healing kits, things like that. I've
had loads of hunt dollars. I've had 3,000 hunt dollars now.
I've needed many hunt dollars because I've eaten that a lot over the last couple of days.
Hunt blood bonds I've not had a lot of. I've had quite a few. Most weapons I've had have been med kits, and I've had quite a few frag grenade type things like stick bombs.
Yeah. Oh, the sticky bombs, really good on bosses. If you've been curious how players have been wrecking the bosses so fast, those.
Right. Okay.
75% damage in one go.
Oh, there you go then.
So just so you know.
Now we know. That's the thing, it's just so many little things that we're still finding. Well, you've probably found most of them out now.
No, mate. I am still completely clueless. You got to think there are people playing that game that are putting thousands and thousands of hours.
Yeah.
I'm still very lucky to get a drop on anyone in that game. Some people's aim in that game, mind-boggling.
Yeah.
So many little subtleties and tricks to the game, the way that the audio works, the way that enemies react to certain things, just so many little details that you can just get completely lost in. And I still have no idea my way around the map. No idea.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting because the reason I've asked is they've now unlocked this new trial mode. So they patched it this week.
I haven't played that yet.
Children. Well, I've had a go at it. It's like literally at 8:15 this evening, I had a go at it.
Right. How is it?
So it's hard. So trial mode. The idea of trial mode is basically to give you a space to practice with the weapons and to help you learn the maps.
Okay.
So you basically can just go around. You can almost like fast travel around the maps. You can go on the maps, and they're like these trial markers, or you can just jump straight to the trial marker in the menu. So the menu gives you like the map you're going to be on. You pick one from the. It has 3 maps listed actually on its thing. By the looks of it. So you pick from say the map. You then pick. Either to go into the game and just wander around to the areas and unlock and do bits and pieces, or you can do these trials. They're 3 levels, easy, medium, and hard. And they weren't like they call even they really should be called bronze, silver, gold because they work like that. Most games we've done challenges, you start off and so you need a certain gold to reach the bronze and a certain gold to reach silver, and you can get gold in your first go. In theory, you don't have to work your way up. So this isn't like that. This is like okay, I've got to do easy, I've got to do medium and hard, which it implies in my head, but it's really like bronze, silver, gold. So I'd had a go. I accidentally picked one of the later trials, which was you have to easy is banish 3 hives. So you have to kill them, and you have to walk up to them and banish them. That's easy. Then it's banish 6 hives and don't get poisoned.
Oh.
And then it's banish 6 hives and take no damage at all.
Oh.
And yes, and this game gives you a weapon that can take him out in 1 hit if you hit him right. but also spawns in so many zombies. So I was there. I thought it was going to be just me in the hives.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on first, I took it out, and then I just suddenly looked around, there's about 20 zombies chasing me. And I got mullered time and time. The most I got was 2 hives before I just got piled on by all the zombies and killed.
Fantastic.
So I didn't even hit the easy goal. So I looked, I thought that's a bit hard. I realised I'd actually picked quite a late on challenge.
Yeah.
So I went back to the first. The first challenge is kill 10 enemies.
Okay.
Right, and so you place with a sniper rifle outside like one sort of dockyard area. There's loads of zombies wandering about. Now they must be set up that they're not aggressive to you because they never came towards me ever. Okay. You know, I was firing this rifle and they weren't bothered by me firing it. It's also just there to help you train. You have zombies, you have hives, and you have immolators, right? Mm-hmm. So the lower level position is kill 10 enemies. That's it. Then it's kill 10 enemies with headshots, and kill 2 immolators, right? Mm-hmm. That's medium. Hard is kill 20 enemies with headshots, headshots 2 immolators. Mm-hmm. Don't let any enemy die from burning damage.
Oh, bollocks. Going up against immolators, though, that's a hell of a job.
You can do it, but you have to headshot them twice. So one headshot won't kill them, as we know. But if a second headshot will. But then once you've headshot them, they obviously burn on the ground for one. The zombies will just wander into it. So you've almost got to sit there and hope you've got enough initiative. If you see a zombie wandering towards the burning area, you can quickly shoot them before they get into it and catch fire. Whoa, that is tough. I've got medium. I managed to get the medium goal, which is kill 2 enemies. So, but that last getting the headshot's is actually quite easy. It's that don't let anyone burn to death.
Sure.
And because you know immolators, like once you shoot them, they run about.
Yeah.
So the cocking the bolt on the rifle is a fraction too long that you can't, because obviously when you shoot an immolator, they usually sort of bend over, explode, then sort of rear up.
Yeah.
And the bolt action of the rifle isn't quite quick enough that you can't get them on the rear up, which is what I was trying to do. I was trying to shoot them, then as they rear up, hit them again. And it's not quite quick enough to do it. At least it seems to be quite quick enough to do it. So that's been tough. That's been tough. I did get me, so yeah, I had a go try, but they are very much, because only 4 minutes long, they are very much, I'll just have another go, I'll just have another go, I'll just have another go. So I've been quite enjoying it. So I'm like, that is going to be a way to, you don't get anything for doing try. You get, I think you can unlock, I think if you do I think once you get a certain number of you get a star for each level. Yeah. Once you get a certain number of stars or points, you get something, I believe.
You can use them to unlock legendary weapon skins. I think that's all you can use them for at this point. I think
that's fine. That's okay. So it's something that's fun. It's fun. It's also great. So I don't have to worry. It doesn't matter what's going to happen. I'm not going to die. My hands not going to lose a hunter because I'm not fun at this.
Yeah.
I still want to put PvE mode in.
I've made that nag quite a bit on the old social medias. I would love to have, or even group trials. Yeah. Just allow us all to get in there and just, roll about in that. Don't get me wrong, the PvE isn't hard, and now that I know how to wreck the bosses incredibly quickly, they ain't hard either. But it would still just be nice to rock around the bayou as a group.
But you could trade, couldn't you? Because if it was a PvE mode where you're just going with you and your mates, you could have a bit more control. Because obviously you can dictate what it is. So you could do things like, I want it so that there's 3 times as many enemies respawn 3 times as frequently.
Yeah. Or the all zombies give bleed damage, or
the bosses have, or an easy one, bosses have more health.
Yeah.
If there's a boss versus 3 players, there's 3 times the health. That's what I mean. Still, yeah. So there are ways you could do it. I suspect the issue of PvE is there would have to be a server one on their end. Because I don't think that, because obviously at the moment all servers are run centrally. But again, if it's just PvE and you're just playing with your mates, it doesn't really matter if you host a server yourself, because say you want to put cheats in, well, you're only going to be cheating your mates.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just pass this on to the main game. So I personally say I don't think PvE would replace the main game. Because I still actually, even though I hate playing it with other players generally, I'm not a great fan of it. I still been enjoying the the normal mode. I've still
Bounty
enjoyed
hunt.
it. I have done a solo now
Yeah.
by myself. I still prefer it with a mate.
Did you get wrecked?
Yes.
Good.
I took in a level 1 hunter. I thought I'm not going to go on my one who's nearly retiring. I'm not going to take them in. I'm going to get my level 1 in hunter in. And yeah, I got wrecked.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad I'm not the only one that was stupid enough to go in solo and get murdered.
I think if you're playing solo, you have to do really good to stand a chance.
Yeah.
I think against duels or triples, even against duels, you are such disadvantage being solo.
I've taken out a couple of duos, but let's just say I was lucky enough to get the drop on them. They didn't know I was there because they were focused on another team, and I was lucky enough to get headshots. We've had a message from Charlie Chalk. Charlie says, what are we talking about? We are talking about Hunt Showdown. Multiplayer game where you basically have to hunt creatures and steal their bounties, but there are other players there as well who want to do the same thing as you, and there's usually like 1 or 2 bounties. So really fun. It's competitive PvE and PvP type game. Really great fun. First person shooter. So hope that answers your question, Charlie Chalk. But yeah, but how have you become? Because also you're now a lot higher level than me, so I'm curious to see what you've encountered as you got higher up. My main thing that I've encountered so far is that perks suck, and the matchmaking is bullshit. Hands down.
Go on.
So, right, if you start off level 1 hunter and you're not particularly great, you're a noob like me and you, even after, say, 40 hours, I am still a noob. I still have no idea where anything is on the map. I still don't know many of the strategies. I still haven't found a weapon that I really like yet. I mean, I still don't have all of the weapon unlocks, because those don't come in until about level 100. You know, I'm a noob. I'm a new player. Hardcore, right? The game has decided, in its ultimate wisdom, that it will matchmake me against players who have taken on hundreds, thousands of bounties that have prestiged many, many, many times with high player KDs and everything. I don't stand a chance. You know, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying my hardest to learn, yet I take one wrong turn, or a mate of mine they shoot something and miss, we're screwed. They know where we are.
Yeah, the matchmaking does seem a bit shit.
Yes. Without question. Very rarely do we ever come up against other players that are at our level. Very, very, very rarely. It's broken to a degree. There are hundreds, thousands of players online right now because of the drop event, and yet we still can't get people at our level. You know, are they saying that there's no new players on that server at all, that they still have to put us up against, you know, players that are, you know, level 20 prestige? You know, people who have been playing it for hundreds, thousands of hours. There's no beginners at all. There was enough beginners to put in the beginner pool, but as soon as you're out of that pool, it just says stuff you. You're in with the big boys now, and it's really difficult to get a handle on anything, because you can't realistically learn strats, because as soon as you try something new, you take a bullet to the face.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I've been curious to know how their matching algorithm works. I wonder if, because it's quite an initial steep learning curve, steep hump at the start, I wonder if a lot of people get put off, and there's actually, as a percentage of population, there's not actually that many new people compared to how many experienced people there are. What if that's the issue?
That wouldn't surprise me, but I have heard from a lot of new players, and the trouble is, like, I looked on the Steam forums, which isn't really the ideal place to go, but all it is, people going, get good, scrub. Get good. Get good. It's like, yeah, but they haven't got the opportunity to get good because the matchmaking is just putting them up against people they don't stand a chance against.
Yeah.
They're never going to learn the audio cues because they're too busy eating dirt.
Yeah. Or they'll learn at a very slow rate.
Yes. And it gets to the point where it becomes a fucking insufferable grind. Like last night, I will admit I was getting a bit tired of it. We took an early stream slot and we were like, right, we are going to go PvP. As soon as we hear gunshots, we're going towards them because we need to learn how these guns work, what lead-in times are, and all that. And unless we managed to sneak up on other players, we were stuffed. Hardcore stuffed. We didn't stand a chance. Nearly every single time we were killed, it came up with 2 arrows next to the player's name saying that they were of much greater experience than we were, a much higher level than we were. And it turns out that the matchmaking system prefers full lobbies rather than balanced ones. So if you need 12 hunters and it can only find 5 at our level, it'll just pick out random high-level players to fill those slots. So it becomes a trial by fire. It really becomes a grind. And if some of these players have got buckets full of perks, you then have to get really, really lucky to get a good shot off on them to kill them in. If you don't get that first shot off and they've got, say, a perk like fanning or the I can't remember what the perk is for lever action rifles, but they can wreck your shit so fast it isn't funny. You miss one shot, they get 4, 5, 6 shots off on you.
Yeah. I expect that is, I'm looking now, Hunt Showdown was released August last year. It's been out nearly a year. So yeah, I suspect that matchmaking has probably worked at the start when everybody was quite new and you had a fairly good churn of new people coming in. Yeah. As time goes on, you've now got the hardcore kept with it. Yeah. And the news have backed off it. So what you're now ending up, that's probably is the case, that there's just so many high-end people up there to filter out the news. The trouble is, by using that matchmaking, you're actually pushing people off. Yeah, because people can't get good because they are constantly being mullered. Yeah. So I mean, I've had matches where I was playing solo. I literally start the match, and within seconds, I had players on my spawn point. Within seconds, I was like, I don't know what to do. I have no idea how to defend against this. One of the other issues with most of the community. Most of the community in Hunt Showdown's pretty cool. But there's always that vocal group that are like, get good, scrub. Get good, scrub. Minority. Or, we were sat here at the beginning too, we were getting wrecked by high-level players. It's like, yeah, but you don't seem to understand that it's a majority high-level players now, and the matchmaking is broken for new players. And people have been complaining about that matchmaking system for ages, unless you can get into a random group with skilled players, you're gonna have a hell of a time. I don't mean a hell of a time as in fun either. Yeah, what would be neat is one thing that would be neat is if you could set up I want to play a game with my mates, and I've got loads of mates. We'll set up a lobby system where people come in, they all join in, and then they get randomly assigned to teams. Yeah. So you can have like 6. So if 6 of you come in, you'll be randomly signed into pairs. Yep. It'll be you can choose pairs. You get the option of both, random choice, and that means you'll probably be playing. Makes you've got a bit of control of who's in there, and you can try and filter it out. That would be fantastic. Things they could do. I think it's got to be. It's still a relatively young game. It's for multiplayer games. It's a year old. Well, it's technically 2 years old because they just had their 2nd anniversary. So released there in August last year, though. Yeah, they've had a 2nd anniversary event. Oh, I wonder what that was for. Do you know, was it one of they did early access? That was early access, wasn't it? Yeah, that's when the release date of the release date would have been their release date, so it must have been early access first. Let's have a look. 1 second. I'm going to have a quick look. So I just looked on Steam, the release date, unless it was released on something else first. I'm just going to the wrong place. Okay. Hunt Showdown was released Microsoft Windows. So the official release date was the 27th of August 2019. Yeah. And where was it? Steam Early Access 22nd of February 2018. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
So, the hardcore have had a long time to...
Yeah. Both had time to get good scrub at it.
Yeah, that's it. They've had a long old time to practice and learn the mechanics and stuff like that. And I mean, that's the thing. It's got so much going on. It's very, very hard to pick up. I mean, some of the subtleties, you'll completely miss them. You'll miss them. You'll hear zombies crying in the background, but you'll be like, wait, is that another player? Is that just a zombie pathing about? There's so much going on. There's so many little details that unless you're really paying attention, you can miss them so easily. And if you don't notice them, you eat a bullet.
Yeah. It's definitely its learning curve is a steep one. I think it's the fair
very
way to say.
Steep one. Although I do have a request for Crytek. Can I pre-build loadouts, please?
Oh yeah.
I would like a favourite loadout.
Yeah.
Because I am sick to piss of starting a match, getting wrecked by a high-level hunter, and then having to go, I want that gun. I want this knife. I want these healing kits. I want that grenade. It's like, just give me an option to have a pre-made loadout.
Yeah.
So that I can unequip everything that's on the character and auto-assign a pre-made.
And buy anything you're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the I was thinking a similar thing the other day actually. I thought I wish I could do that. That would save a lot of time.
Yeah, because it feels like such a drag as well. It makes it tiresome to have to keep doing it. I mean, gameplay-wise, the game's fantastic. I'm quite getting into it. I like the world. I still think the characters look like they're made out of something from Oblivion.
Yeah.
But,
when you actually play, I find I don't notice that when I'm playing. I don't really... It's only when I sort of stop and look.
Sure.
I don't really notice that when I'm playing. I just see enemies and shoot.
Well, that's when you see them.
Yeah. So...
But no, so it's all right. It is all right. Oh, and I wish they'd released the instrumental version of the soundtrack.
Yes, because they've only released a sort of partial soundtrack so far. Yeah. Which has got some of the instrumentals on it, but not one instrumental.
An instrumental. I mean, it's got all of the songs from the soundtrack in it, but all of the ones in the game are instrumentals.
Yeah.
And in a lot of cases, I much prefer the instrumental versions to the ones with the vocals. But no, I'm still quite enjoying the game. I fear I'm never going to get good at it. I fear I'm never, ever, ever going to get good at it. I've seen some people playing it today where their aim is mind-boggling and they barely even look at you to get a headshot.
That's how I find, though, with... I've accepted that with things like RTSs. I'm never going to be good at RTSs. I've just not got the mindset for them. Turn-based games I'm not so bad at, but real-time strategy games, no, I ain't got the mindset for them. I actually accept. So I know, but I don't bother playing them online. I don't really play many RTSs full stop, so I just can't. I very rarely get. I can't really get very far in the single player modes. I think Red Alert 2. I think I got to about levels 3 or 4, and then couldn't get any further.
Sure.
I've just written those off as a job that I'm just not going to ever be any good at. I'm also not very good at racing games either. I'm not bad, but I'm nowhere near. Like I would say, good, competent, competitive. I probably also I'm not very competitive when it comes to racing games. And if I've been with mates who've played racing games, I'll always be the last. I'll be bossing, guaranteed.
So I mean, I get that groove. I mean, I think one of my problems I have with Hunt Showdown is literally mechanically it is so different from all of my other preferred shooters.
Yeah.
I am more of an arena shooter kind of guy, and if I go in there with an arena shooter mentality, I'm dead.
Yeah, I mean, mate, I've played your arena shooters, and you are insane. Even though I'm really, really bad. We played. Was it Quake Arena or was it Quake 2? We played
Quake 3.
Quake 3, that's it. And it was the first match. Was it 20 kills win, and I got 1 kill, you got, and it was just me and you, and I got 1 kill, you got 20, and you just ran rings around me, because that is completely not my comfort zone of a game. That is not, I'm used to games where you have to sort of like aim.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I'm used to games where I get it, like you have to aim, but like for me, I like to be able to move around quickly. I like to be able to get those shots off, move, and get the next shot off as fast as possible. Now, that is a thing in Hunt Showdown, but my God, sometimes those guns are painfully slow. I desperately want to get an extra shot off, but I can't.
Yeah.
And that's where I find... I did say, didn't I, when we first started playing, that I thought that some of those perks were going to make it horribly unbalanced.
Skazz, you've gone quiet.
I was right.
Oh, so I thought you'd gone quiet. I lost you.
I was so right. As soon as you go up against a player with a bucket ton of perks that increase their rate of fire, just don't bother. You have to catch them off guard. I mean, I saw a guy today run straight into an area. He got shot at once. The player missed. He almost knew exactly where they were. And within 2 shots, the other guy was down. And I mean, he was aiming for like a slit in a window.
Yeah. They're mixing pros and noobs. It's just...
Yeah.
There's no middle ground.
Which is... It's a little painful, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad game still. I mean, I still think this game will still be one of my contenders game of the year, end of the year.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
But it's got its problems. But then there aren't many games that haven't got problems. To be fair,
no, for sure.
If they fix the matchmaking. Although let's be honest, I very rarely have played a game with good matchmaking.
No, you're right. You are right. I mean, maybe some fighting games have somewhat decent matchmaking, but their netcode sucks, so it doesn't play very well anyway. But
yeah.
You know, it just seems annoying that the game prefers a full server to a balanced one. I would rather have a balanced server with a few less players on it than having a full match and getting steamrolled.
Yeah, and actual fact that would probably be better as well for beginner players to say, right, okay, the server you're playing on is only going to have a maximum of 6 players on it, and as you get better, as you get more prestige, more rank. So then it says, okay, now you're playing against up to potentially 8 other players and up to 10 other players, and increase it that way. That's another possibility. Let's be honest, I think most matchmaking systems would use a ranking system, and frankly, ranking systems are a terrible way to matchmake because you can get up and level through effectively grinding.
Yeah.
But passive grind, like you're not trying to grind your way up. You keep playing lots of little games, you keep dying, but you get a few experience points for it. So gradually you work your way up, and then all of a sudden you find yourself, you've not got your ability. Sometimes your rank can outstrip your ability.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Sometimes your rank can be a lot lower than your ability. So match systems rely on just simple ranks as a way of pairing up don't work.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is, there's also an issue that's really hard to do because I said not many. I don't think I've known any game that's done a decent job of it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's so hard, which just proves how much of a problem it is how hard you judge relatively how good other players are against each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be tempted if I was going to do it, be looking at just raw statistics. Look, how many kills deaths does this player get? Okay, he's got quite a high kill death ratio. He's clearly quite good. We better push him against other high kill to death ratio players.
Yeah,
and we better sort of try and even it that way. How many shots on target do they get? How accurate? Look at their raw stats rather than their rank, because actually that's a bigger, and those things will even out more as they play more. Whereas rank doesn't; it's always just going to be going up. So if you get your rank from playing 100 games you do brilliantly or 1,000 games you do poorly, you're still the same rank, and then you're still going to get matchmade. Yeah. But it's obviously a problem. I mean, people far smarter than me have tried to solve this problem. I'm sure I'm just a little yokel person who does programming as a hobby and does game design as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I have not got a solution to this problem because I'm sure people at Crytek are smarter than me. If they can't solve it,
well, like I said, I mean, I just wish that it preferred, even players versus full pools.
Yeah.
And make that clear. Just make it clear, because one of the arguments against it was, well, then what do we do about players who complain that they're not seeing many other human players? I was like, make it clear that you're being matchmaked to ability, and it's ability only rather than full server. You may go into a server with only 2 other teams on it.
Or have it set where you, on your matchmaking scene, just have a couple of options like, okay, would you prefer to wait for a full server? Would you prefer to wait for maximum how many people do you want to be on the other server?
Yeah.
You do a drop-down box, say, I want to be no more than 8 people on the server. And it'll go, okay, it'll look for the people who want 8 people on the server, or perhaps people who want, if it's a no more than, okay, I've not got enough 8 people, but there's a guy who wants no more than 10, I'll put him in to make it right. Pop him in that way. I suppose you have the opposite problem that someone's really good, could put them up against a low number of players, absolutely dominate them. But there are ways and means around them, sure, but no one's quite got the magic number. Just Hunter is not a very good example of it.
Yeah.
So, but still a enjoyable game regardless.
Yeah, for sure. When you get in there, when you get into a good match, and you're all balls to the wall trying to extract with a bounty, it's fantastic. Even on my worst nights, we still managed to get a couple of decent extractions.
And that's actually, I think, the key bit, because if you do extractions all the time really well, and you constantly got extractions, that'd be boring. Getting those rare few extractions, that gives you a little bit of, yes, we've done it. I actually think it's important to not succeed most of the time.
That's the thrill. It really brings up the thrill. And when we do get into intense firefights and we do come out okay, then that's really cool. But there, like I say, there are just other times when you get steamrolled and you've got no idea why. And someone will say to me, well, you probably triggered a sound trap. Yeah, that's probably true. Or you probably did this, or you probably did that. I was like, that's fine. But the only way I've had to learn is to die.
Yeah.
And it's not a particularly nice... It takes a while to set up another character. So it's like, if I want to learn to use a certain gun or a certain loadout, I have to rebuild it every single time.
So let me ask you a random question then, an idea then. If they changed the permadeath mechanic to perhaps some way you could almost insure your character, perhaps with blood bonds, so that if you die, you don't lose a character, would that be something that would interest you, or do you think the permadeath is an important part of the game?
I think permadeath is important. I just wish that I could have a pre-made loadout. So I could set up, say, 3 loadouts, and then say, I want this hunter to have this loadout, this hunter to have that loadout, and then if that hunter dies, I can go, new character, hire, because hired characters already come with stuff, and then say, unequipped all, equipped loadout 3.
Yeah.
That would make it so much less painful, because the UI in those menus isn't particularly intuitive. There is a lot of jumping about, and it's kind of messy. It's not awful. I mean, I'm sure that as you get better at the game, you'll develop muscle memory and you'll be flipping through the menus no problem. But as it stands, it's a chore.
The amount of times I've gone to equip a weapon and actually bought another version of it.
Yeah, I've done that at a stack. Or I think I've equipped the gun that I want, and it turns out, whoops, that was the single shot variant. It's like, oh, that's not what I was looking for.
I think you can favourite him, though, can't you? You can put favourites.
Yeah, and I have done, but we found last night that sometimes even that broke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you tell it to filter by favourites, and all of a sudden it was just like, no, I ain't going to filter by that anymore. And then you had to kind of clear your filters and then reapply them for it to work again. It's like you'd move from like guns to consumables, and all of a sudden it'd have a bit of a hissy fit.
Yeah, it has got some UI. It's still got some bugs in it. Like, we had a lot of trouble when we were trying to play trios on Tuesday. We had a lot of trouble getting to... It wouldn't let me in. In the end, Zaber had to leave. You had to invite me, then you had to invite Sarah back in. It was the only way to do it.
I mean, Jets had issues where if the server that we were trying to connect to was full, if we didn't immediately exit the matchmaking queue, because it said, do you want to wait? If we didn't immediately exit, it would crash his client.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was really, really weird. Really weird. There's plenty of like teething little bugs and stuff. But it is solid. I really do wish they threw a few more bones to people. I don't mind the permadeath. It's fantastic sometimes. It really puts up the tension. It just takes too long to set up another character. Because like I said, the amount of time I spend setting up a hunter, I mean, that guy could be dead in like 10 seconds.
What about if they made permadeath? Because permadeath is linked to your rank, not the hunter. What if they linked to your hunter's level? So your hunter's like below level 10, they will survive. So you don't have to buy that loadout again. Once they reach level 11, then next time you lose them, they're gone.
No, I see. I don't know about that either.
I'm trying to feel anti-frustration features here. We could sort of.
No, I understand the groove. I honestly do think just the easiest way it's going to be is to improve the matchmaking to allow fewer than maximum players. Allow that to be an option. Let people choose it, because if I don't want to be in a pool, like, give me a skill range. So, do I want to be match made against people higher level than me? Yes or no. Do I want full servers? Yes or no. And then have that kind of be a risk that I take, and then give me the option to build, say, 3 specific loadouts. So that then every time, if I want, let's say I have a ranged setup I like, a melee setup I like, and I don't know, a short fucking evil as hell shotgun setup that I like. Let me assign those to slots, and then when my hunter dies, just let me equip the loadout.
Yeah.
Rather than having to manually select every item every single time, going through the lists, and then being like, oh, God, no. Get into a match, and then you find that, I don't know, a double-arrowed, super high-ranked player has just rocked his way down to your area right off the bat, or you've spawned into an area with dogs, crows, and immolators right at the start, and you're burned.
Yeah. Yeah, because that sometimes shit does happen, and you will just...
Yeah. I mean, we've had it. We've spawned... I mean, we played a match, didn't we? And we spawned right in front of a pack of, like, 8 dogs. There was a set of 4, and then a little bit further along, there was another 4.
That was when me and Zabe went off, and you just kept running into dogs.
Yeah, they were everywhere.
I mean, I have to say, those matches... I said the ones that... Some of the matches that stand in my mind are the ones that, on paper, are the shittest matches.
Mm-hmm.
So that match where we were going after a couple of clues and we just got shot by some players and we legged it and they chased us across the map and we eventually managed to extract. That was fun, running. But we, on paper, I think we got like 1 clue or maybe 2 clues. They were out, but that was really. It's good at creating these little moments.
Yeah,
that are really quite intense and fun.
Yeah, it's fact. Look, it gives you that thrill. It gives you that rush. Look, like I said, it just bugs me a little bit that the skill curve, the amount of time required to get good at player-based PvP is going to be a nightmare. And I don't want to see people get put off for silly little things like having to rebuild loadouts or shit matchmaking.
I feel a lot of people do get put off by it. I think there are a lot of people
I know many people who won't even try it. As soon as they heard permadeath PvP, they were like, nope, not playing it. I had one guy in stream come in yesterday, he said, oh mate, it just looks like a bunch of griefers, I ain't playing this. And I was like, but we can see, like, so all the things I complained about earlier, like, oh, get good, scrub, maybe you just tripped a noise trap, that's why you died. I understand a lot of the times why I died after the fact, but it's usually against much higher level players. And there are a lot of new people out there who just won't try it out of fear of getting steamrolled right off the bat.
Yeah. And to be honest, guys, I was a little bit nervous about playing it for that reason. Because permadeath, I don't know. It was only because I watched the video on it, which basically said, look, permadeath was all right. You don't lose everything. You just lose your character. Once you realise that actually your level and your character are separate, they're separate things. That makes it a little bit more palatable. So I was quite nervous. That's actually part of the reason why I bought you a copy of the game, because I didn't want to play it alone.
Yeah,
because I
think it's funny actually. Of the two of us, I'm the one that's played it alone the most.
Yeah.
I've put a lot of time into that game alone, and I've paid brutally for it.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I'm not a multiplayer player. I don't do a lot of online. I've never until Hunt Showdown. The last online multiplayer game I played was Black Hawk Down.
Wow.
Which would have been about 2005, 2006.
Yeah, I was going to say, just wow. Didn't we have LANs of that in college?
Maybe. I don't remember doing that.
Something like that.
But I don't think if we did, I don't replay because I was the group of people I was in.
No, you were in a different class, but I remember us all have. So my lot had LANs, but we mostly played Battlefield.
Yeah,
I remember hearing the other class had
Black Hawk Down. Yeah. We played that a lot. I did try Battlefield because Battlefield 2 was at the time. I tried to play Battlefield 2 online, but I had a lot of trouble with that game playing that online. The game issue, it crashed on me so many. Every time I played it, it'd crash after about 5 minutes in game. So in the end, I just gave up on it because I just I joined a game. I'm all ready to go because I used to have to sort of psych myself up to play a game.
Yeah, sure.
And those games actually are a little bit more new because when you die, you don't actually die. You respawn in a few seconds later, so you have another chance. I've not played a lot of multiplayer games, which is partly why I wanted to play with you because I thought Skazz has played a lot of multiplayer games. He can
not in a long time.
He can take it, he can put me under his wing and sort of say, "There, Ram, there, it's all right."
Look how that didn't work in Hunt Showdown.
Actually, here's one thing I actually do think that's good about Showdown, which actually I think improves it immensely compared to most other multiplayer shooters or multiplayer games in general. There's no in-game chat.
There is.
What, you can talk to other players?
Yes.
As in GG and all that type of stuff in?
Yes.
Because I've never seen it. Where's that then? I've not seen that.
Right off the bat, when you launch the game, there's a little text box in the bottom left-hand corner.
Is there really?
Yep.
Well, so small,
in the lobby menu, there's a little text box, and there's also a key to bring up text chat. You can also use in-game mic chat too.
I've never seen that, but I've never seen the text chat bit. I'm going to look at the stream because I don't ever say that. It might be, if it's
they hide a lot of unused UI, but there have been times when we've gone to the lobby and had stuff in the chat box.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because one of our mates, Van, when we play trios, he often puts stuff in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah. So they do have a chat feature.
Well, then I take it away because I was praising the game for that because I thought that's brilliant because you can't. There's oh shit, you're fucking gay.
There's loads of trolly shit going on in that game. You do hear it still. I've watched a couple of the live streams recently. And many people come up over mic and they are just taking the piss. So they haven't quite solved it. I'm afraid to say, you give someone access to a chat room, in-game chat, they're just going to go ham.
That's what I say, take it out. It's not needed. Yeah. It doesn't help. Take it out. It's not. I've not noticed it. So, and it's proved my experience immensely because I didn't even realise it was there. Because it's just like just put even if you've had if you play a game and you get killed, you think, oh fuck, so I died, and then you just see get good scrub versus in the messages like that just puts you. It's just like kicking you when you're down.
Yeah, for sure. I understand that.
Yeah, and if you're like a little fragile person like me, it really puts you off games. So
no, and I understand that. I mean, I understand it. Like I'm usually pretty thick-skinned with this kind of stuff, but last night I got quite ragey. I ain't gonna lie. I got pretty pissed off pretty quickly, and that was without access to the chat. Just feeling that there were times when the game was so unfucking fair, it wasn't even funny. But then again, that would then fall into the get good scrub category. But it's like, I'd love to get good, but I'm only it's gonna take so long for me to learn because I'm only in a match for like 3 seconds before I'm dead.
And what's going to run out first? Your desire to learn, or your patience with the game? What will you get? I'm fed up with this before.
And that's what worries me because I like the game, but I look at it from the point of view of other players, and as I say, there are already people put off by the idea that it's just got permadeath in it.
Yeah.
So don't make the player base shrink. That's a good way to kill your game.
Yeah.
Embrace the newbies. Help them out. Don't just say get good and practice and, it was like that even when we played too. It's like, but that doesn't mean, just because someone was a dick to you when you started, doesn't mean you get to be a dick to other people. You need
to start setting up, newbie pools. Perhaps based, this also wouldn't be such a big thing for you, perhaps based on rank. If the match is based on rank, then
match it on KD. Match it on KD. Just go purely on kill death ratio and accuracy.
Yeah.
Alright, fucking just go entirely on that. If someone's got a KD of like 0.2, put them in a pool with players with fucking 0.2 KDs and see how they go. If they still get lost, use another metric that you've got. Because there's tracking them all. They know how many headshots you've got. They know your favourite guns.
Yeah.
So, just do that. So work on the algorithm to do that rather than just saying, fuck it. There's, we need, was it 12 players?
I mean, the thing is, any match rounds has got to be fairly... If you want quick matchmaking, it has to be a very straightforward, simple system to measure with.
But it isn't quick, though,
they use rank. No, it's usually compared to PUBG.
Everything's faster than PUBG at this point.
It's probably waiting for a Foos. We've now waited more than I think half a minute.
We've had a few quite long waits.
Really? Yeah.
I think that's largely down to the Twitch drop event, though. If I had to be honest, the player pool has gone up through the roof since the whole Twitch drops thing.
And you're going to see a lot more players with a lot more higher end weapons straight away because obviously they've now got the money to do it.
Yeah.
This Twitch drop, I think this will actually cause a lot more problems initially. There'll be an initial burst of. It's doing what it's meant to do. It's trying to get the game out there more well known. Yeah. That's obviously what they're trying to do, but it's going to make a lot more players. You're going to get a lot of newbies coming into it, with higher end gear they should really have.
Yeah.
Or obviously the ranks help a little bit on that, protecting them because they can afford it because they've got all the. I mean, I've got more. I've got so many $100 in the bank.
I will say that's been my favourite part about the Twitch drop event is just having $100 to try different loadouts because I'm not so worried about I've just gone and burnt 300 ain't a lot, but let's say I've just gone and burnt $1,000 on a loadout. I'm not so worried now about getting shot in the face within a few seconds because I didn't have to do anything to get that money. But again, practice.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm sort of trying to. One reason I'm doing the trials at the moment is I want to sort of get practice with weapons and get better at. I'm sort of also setting my. Although I've been doing the trials, I'm supposed to be sorting my own challenges as well. So I've been setting myself this challenge of 2-second aiming. So from the point of view where I start aiming, I take a shot 2 seconds later, no matter what.
Yeah.
So if I want to hit something, I have to be aiming at it.
Yeah.
And that just because my biggest issue actually when it comes to aiming things, I tend to be overthink them a little bit. I'll aim.
I've done that.
I'll get it, times. And I'll go. It's not quite the perfect shot, and I'll wait, and then I've lost the shot. And then
a shot not taken is a shot missed.
Yeah. But so you have to. So that's what I'm supposed to say anyway. It's like, okay, I aim 1, 2, bang, I shoot, and I'm hoping I'm hitting a target. And it means and eventually that you have to just get good at lining up and going for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's actually one of the things that stuffed me up the most in playing Hunt Showdown. That because it is so out of my comfort zone as far as shooters go, that. So, like you say, you've played me in arena shooters, and I bounce around like a madman, and I hit my target quite a bit. I can level people, not too much of a problem. It depends on how much they've been playing, but still. But with Hunt Showdown, because I know that if I miss, I'm stuffed, I'm spending so much more time I've got aim paralysis. Unless it's perfect, I don't shoot. And because they notice me before I get the perfect shot, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I freeze on the spot.
It's funny because Hunt Showdown, which in theory you think be better at playing, because the thing that I find about arena shoes is that arena shoes are basically, although you move around very quickly, often your shooting's quite slow because all the projectiles actually move quite slowly, and it's all about shooting where the person's going to be, not so much where they are.
Yeah.
Whereas Hunt Showdown is obviously more. You do have to. I think that long ranges there's some will bullet lead. But at the most engagement ranges, there's virtually zero, so you don't really have to lead your target very much.
It's the high power, low velocity guns that need lead.
Yeah.
If I remember, is that? No, I probably said that.
Yeah, well, that'd be sense. Low velocity would make sense. You need to lead it.
Yeah. So the thing that fires a massive ass slug at someone needs a bit of lead because it moves incredibly slowly, but when it hits the target, it disintegrates it.
Yeah. And moving is relative incredibly slowly. It's still quite fast.
Well, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, when you look at some of the other stuff that's firing lighter ammo quicker, no lead. Or very little lead.
I want to know who played the crossbow, though. Who played that?
Crossbows are one-shot kills, even in body shots.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's like balancing.
They're fucking fantastic if you can hit the target.
Ooh,
I've had a couple of runs with crossbows. Fantastic. If you can hit the target, you're good to go.
Oh, brilliant! I always thought because I thought crossbows should look so underpowered, but they've balanced it, making it a one-hit kill.
Mm. As long as you hit them in the torso or the head, they're gone.
Yeah.
And if you hit anything that isn't, I mean, even if it is a hunter, but if you like hit something, you can just go and pull the bolt out of like the wood or the wall or out of the zombie. You can just pick it back up, stick it back in the thing, and then if you get the bolt thrower perk, you half your reload times. Which I mean, it's a necessary perk, but when you go up against someone with the bolt thrower perk and you haven't got it, just, give up.
Yeah.
Same with people who have the fan-in perk and the lever action rifle perk. If someone has got one of those perks and you haven't, you're as good as stuffed if they get a decent shot on you.
Yeah.
But still, I'm really enjoying the game. There's just, like I said, there's just a few minor little things that I wish they'd tweak about it. I know it sounds like newbie griping, but it's more a case of like the game. I want other people to like it too.
People can say what we've got, but if you're best part of 40 hours into the game, that's not really newbie territory. If a Hunt Showdown seems to be newbie territory, but 40 hours in for most games, if it's a single player game, you'd have finished it probably twice over by now.
I'd have finished. Well, let's put it this way: I would have finished every Call of Duty game that I own in that time.
Yeah. So calling somebody a new watch player, you've only put 40 hours in. That's a pretty good investment of your life. But if you're like a more person who doesn't get a lot of hours spare like I do, I don't get a lot of hours spares to play games really. Mm-hmm. That 40 hours could represent like 4 or 5 weeks to me.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
which I completely understand.
So to call that person to do that's a bit, yeah. I think I think it's definitely a niche game, isn't it? The Hunter's got his little niche of. There's people going to love this. There's people going to love this game who are really good at it. There's people going to love this game who perhaps will never be the greatest players there or even super competitive at it. Mm-hmm. And then there's everybody else who's just going to either play it a few times and bounce off it. Probably when they're not permadeath, they'll bounce off it.
Yeah.
Or they'll just like be put off it immediately from just reading about it.
Yeah. See, I want those little things ironed out so that less people bounce.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not huge complaints. But again, good scrub will make it entirely, that'll fix every single one of the game's problems if I actually get good. But it's, as you said, it's a case of are you gonna get good or is your patience gonna wear thin? And I like the game. I criticize the game as someone who likes it. I want other people to not bounce off of it.
So I think that the people who like the game most tend to be the most critical of it. Mm-hmm. When you really like something, you tend to pick out all its flaws because you sort of like, I like it in spite of all these problems.
Yeah,
I know the problems are. I acknowledge problems. That's far healthier than being the opposite, which is it's fine because no flaws. I don't know what you're talking about. It's perfect in every way.
Yep.
Get good scrub. That's sort of the opposite attitude, and that's a less helpful attitude.
Yeah,
being able to identify problems with something is far more beneficial than being able to. It's like, I mean, I'm a big fan of things like Doctor Who. I love Doctor Who. I'm a big fan of it. I'll still point out its flaws, and I'll say, yeah, that episode is shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still point out its flaws because actually, I think being able to do that means I don't say better fan is the wrong word, but makes you're not just die hard and like something for the sake of like it. It's not a personal attack because you can say something's bad. So a lot of games I love have got lots of problems, and I'll admit them. So yeah, that's a problem. That game, it has got a fault. It's a big issue. I love it in spite of it, though.
You know, is it you know, what makes it great? Is it better than the sum of its parts kind of thing?
Yeah.
You know, I don't like these blinded fantards. You know, these crazy fanboys that are like, oh, get good. It's like, what you're telling me you can't. What you're saying is you can't quantify how good it is. You can't tell someone how good something is without being able to weigh up the good and the bad. If you don't see any bad, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Because
saying something get good scrub doesn't help anybody.
No.
It doesn't help. It doesn't help the person who you're shouting at. People think you're a knob.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person that you may feel a bit superior out of, but actually, really, does it really make you feel superior? No, it just makes you feel you're just a twat.
Yeah.
It doesn't help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
don't make, as we said earlier, don't make the small community smaller.
Yeah. Don't make a community. And I've said for so many games where the community is unfriendly. Someone comes in who's new and say, hey, I'm new to this. I would like to learn. I want to join the community and play an experience game that you guys love. Oh, you fucking noob. Yeah, don't be so stupid. Well, you were a noob once, mate. You know, you were there once. And what happens is they leave, and eventually your community just dies off, and that's the game dead. That's why half these multiplayer games die off, or get forgotten, because the community gets so toxic.
Yep.
Nobody wants to deal with you anymore.
It gets full of elitist fantards.
Yeah. Friendly communities that encourage other players, oh, well, okay, yeah, try this, try doing that. Oh, what's your strategy like that? Okay, try this. They're the ones that survive and grow and do all right and develop because people want to join. If you have a player who, after having a discipline one, is about the version queen of the game, goes into the forums and says, I'm struggling with this, what am I doing wrong? And people just say, oh, you just need to get better at it.
And give people some tips. Like, how can that, like, is their aim bad? If it is, what can they do to improve it? You know, do you have any drills that they can use to practice? Yeah,
say to them, go practice, do this, try just to, even just say to them, look, do you know what, don't worry about trying to get the boundaries when you first play, just go off, look for some zombies and just practice headshotting them.
Yeah.
Just practice. That's just all people want. Or even say, look, hey, if you've got some sort of video recording, or just record a video if you like, just record a video you play a match, upload to Shooter, we'll watch it and tell you where you're going wrong.
Yeah.
That's how that player will probably stay playing the game and will develop and work on the game. If you attempt to get good and they're already having a struggle because they're playing the game, they'll probably just not play anymore.
Yeah, and I've actually already seen that with Hunt, which is quite sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've tried to convince people, like, come back. It's not that bad. I suck at that game. I have never played a competitive shooter that I've sucked so bad at. But I still find it really fun. I still want more people to try it. I've convinced people who don't play multiplayer shooters to come and have a go with me. And they've agreed. The ones that have played with me have said, that's a fucking blast. But then when you look at the people who unfortunately bump into the elitists, it sucks that they're going to walk away and never actually experience the actual fun of this game just because those people weren't willing to give a little bit of advice.
But I also think attitude going in, if you go into that game of attitude of, do you know what? I could well die and lose my hunter. Oh well. And if I do survive, I'll be fantastic. It'll make me evening. If you go with an attitude of, if I don't win it, I hate it, you're going to struggle. You go attitude of, like, if I die, I die. Shit happens.
There's only so many times you can eat dirt within half an hour before you start to get sick of it.
That is true. True.
We've had matches where we've had an entire team wipe in minutes. And we've had no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And other matches we will cleanly extract without seeing another player at all.
Yeah.
So, there's only so many times you can eat because of how long it takes to set up as well. There's only so many times you're willing to eat dirt before you start to get tired of seeing that you're dead. What do you want to do next? Screen.
Yeah, that is an issue with it, but I think you have accept that's a likely outcome. You're going to gain more long-term enjoyment than going in thinking I must win.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with clean extractions. I'll be honest, last night, the stream where we went entirely for PvP was the most miserable experience I've had in Hunt so far. Because I happen to know it's not an area that I'm strong at, but it's an area that I wanted to learn about. And I just wanted to see if I could learn the audio cues. Now, thankfully, I've learned a bit more about the audio cues. I'm pinpointing players a lot easier. It's just now I have to work on my aim. But it's a case of how long is a player going to have to eat dirt before that clicks? And are the community going to be there to help them along to get past the dirt eating phase?
Yeah, and how easy is it to get over that hump? Are you going to play it and actually never get over that hump? Is simply... as a player, is player versus player combat just not something you're ever going to be great at? So you're just going to struggle. I'm not saying this is just in general. Not saying this to you specifically. Yes, but I'm saying as a player, are these humps there that you're just not going to get at? I mean, in which case there are other ways out there. As you see, we've played quite a few games where we've never even encountered other players and escaped. Sometimes you can get out there with just, PvE. Sometimes you play, say, actually, this is too hot for me, I'm just going to get out.
Yep.
There are ways and means to play it. I mean, if you want to do PvP, it's got a PvP mode in it anyway. So,
yeah.
So, I think, Anyway, we've been on an hour and 6 minutes. We just talked about Hunt so far.
That's pretty much, I'm going to be honest with you, mate. That's pretty much all I've got to talk about. In fact, after this podcast is over, I'm going straight back into Hunt.
There you go. So if you are listening to some episode of Randos and you've got a time machine, go back to approximately 11 o'clock Saturday, July the 4th GMT and join Skazz on his stream.
And watch me rage quit.
Watch him rage quit. So, marvellous.
I mean, just Crytek, please. If anyone out there can get this to Crytek, and I know the devs are out there watching streamers and listening to podcasts about the game, please just give us a few more options as far as loadout configuration. So give us the option for pre-mades or to build pre-mades. And please give us options of, do we want full servers? Do we mind being match made with players way above our skill levels? Because I'm going to be honest with you, if you're a newbie and you're going up against players that have got hundreds of thousands of kills, it's not fun.
No.
You don't want to put the new guys off.
Yeah. And can I add to that your list of requests, so the Crytek knows when they listen to our podcast, as we know they will, PvE mode.
Yeah, please.
Team PvE mode.
Yeah. Trials mode is fine, but I'd like to be able to just, cut around the bayou with my mates, taking out, say, the butcher or the spider. Then we can learn some tactics to take the damn thing out. I know a couple sticks of dynamite will take out a boss, or a sticky grenade will take out a boss, but give us the option to practice together as a team. Let us figure out the fastest way across the bayou together.
Well, just fun. That game we played, and we were basically playing PvE because all the other players either died or extracted or left.
It was fantastic. It was hilarious.
That was brilliant fun. And after fact, when you know there's other players around, actually, it takes a little bit of a stress off you because you can just have a bit of fun.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that stress is what adds to it. You're like, oh, God, we got away and it was fantastic. But
sometimes when you want to have a blast with your mates, I mean, this idea, you can still leave all the other stuff. You can still leave the permadeath there. You can still leave all that in there. Mm-hmm. Just give us a little bit of, give us that
Make
instead.
It an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So.
And give me that fucking instrumental soundtrack, God damn it.
Yes. So 4 requests for Crytek. Pre-done loadouts, better matchmaking, PvE mode, and instrumental soundtrack.
Thank you. Please get it done.
Yeah, they're all very straightforward things. I'm sure you can do it.
I'm not asking for the world. I just don't want new players to bounce off because of hardcore.
Yeah.
Because of the elitists. I don't want new players to get put off just because they can't get into a pre-made. You know?
Yeah.
I want people to enjoy it because I think it's really fun. For what is there, it's really, really fun. Yeah. Just there are a few bits that are horribly fucking broken and unfair. There you go.
There you go. So, right, the only other thing I want to talk about, and this is the only thing for me mainly because I know it's not your groove necessarily. Next, this month, a new edition of Warhammer 40k is being released. 9th edition is being released.
All right.
Pre-orders now. If you're listening to the audio version, pre-orders will go live on the 11th of July. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to the wildcard version of this, they all should be live now because we usually release it about a week later. The audio version.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9th edition of Warhammer has been released, and I'm quite looking forward to it. In some ways, I'm a bit
tweaks. Did you not say that was already super simplified, or?
They have, so it's an incredibly simple game. It is it's only about, I think the main rules are about 5-6 pages long. Mm-hmm. They have made the rules slightly longer, but that's more to add clarification. Okay. So they've got a lot more examples in the rules, and they've tried to make them a bit more easy to reference in the book. So now, as you'll have like your section, like, okay, this is what you do. They'll give you like a load of paragraphs to explain how the rule works, and then now they're going to have little bullet points, summaries at the end, as a quick reference, so you can just go. So they're doing that little bit of that. They are changing some way the game moves. So I'll try not to bore you too much with this. So they've basically, because what they did with 8th edition, 8th edition was a real shake-up to how Warhammer 40k played. Mm-hmm. They really reinvented the wheel, pretty much. They changed how everything worked. So previous to that, vehicles used to have armor ratings. Vehicles would have a front, side, and rear armor. Mm-hmm. And you had to try and penetrate armor, which meant, generally speaking, only high-power weapons could penetrate armor. They got rid of that, and rear vehicles started using the same profile as every other model in the game, except they tend to be very high toughness. So other models, their toughness would represent how they were to injure. Vehicles is their armor. And again, finding these tough models, you would use, you'd have to have tri-shift weapons penetrating. Vehicles, a vehicle of armor 14 at the front, weapons with a strength of less than 7 would never penetrate. They just couldn't do it.
Sure.
Would not be possible. The way they were set up, it wasn't possible. Now, the new system, in theory, any weapon can damage any vehicle in most situations because they're just toughness based. So they've reinvented. They shook that up in 8th edition by treating vehicles basically as another unit. Had no real special abilities. Now, I wasn't such a fan of that because it made vehicles not very different to everything else. There were not really enough benefits to being a vehicle compared to other unit types. Mm-hmm. One of the big things I disliked about it was vehicles and all models used to have an issue where if you've had their weapons have certain categories, so you have like rapid fire weapons which represent like your assault rifles, you've got pistols, you've got assault weapons which are designed to be good. So pistols are like up close range. Rapid fire are like if you get up close you can do a lot of damage, and they're less effective at longer ranges. Mm-hmm. Assault weapons. You are very mobile weapons. You can move a lot more with them and shoot with them. And then heavy weapons, as the name suggests, if you move, you get a penalty to moving and firing because they're heavy. You know, you've got to stop and steady yourself to fire them. Yep. That penalty applied to vehicles as well. That always felt wrong because the vehicles are quite a stable platform. Well, they've got rid of that now. That penalty doesn't apply to vehicles anymore.
Okay.
To vehicles, so they've made that. That's an improvement in my guy. You know, it makes vehicles more useful. They've made blast weapons more reliable. So in early editions of Warhammer, you actually had a physical plastic template.
Yeah, I remember that.
They got rid of those. Instead, you rolled a dice. So if you hit a unit and it was a blast D6 weapon, you just rolled a 6-sided dice and that's how much damage you did.
Mm-hmm.
But that may have situations where, like, if you hit like a unit of say 30 orcs, you might do 1 damage. Whereas if you hit a unit of say 5 space marines, you might fear to do 6. It doesn't quite make sense.
Sure.
So they've changed it now so that you can do minimum damages. So if you've got like at least 6 models in it, you'll do it at least 3 damages to it. So if you have to roll a d6, you roll a 2, it automatically becomes a 3 if they've got at least 6 models in it.
Okay.
And it's got 11 or more models in it, you auto do the maximum damage you can. So if your weapon's a d6 scatter blast weapon, it will always just do 6 hits. I'm saying damage, should be saying hits here. It'll do 6 hits rather than damage.
Sure.
Terminology. So they've improved that. Cover, they simplified cover in the previous edition of Warhammer 8th edition. Cover just gave you a bonus to cut through your saving throw. Other than that, all terrain and cover is basically treated the same, pretty much. Wasn't it? Now they've made terrain cover more involved, which actually makes it more tactical. One for 8th is 8th was really simple, but it took away a lot of the more finer points of Warhammer. So, do I take cover in this building? Now it makes more sense to take cover in a building as opposed to behind it, and previously it actually did make a lot of difference. If you can be seen, you can be seen. Now they can actually be obstacles, which means you can't see through them. So it's improved that a lot more. It's done some things. They have changed the way you do objectives. So in previous edition of Warhammer, you had victory points and you scored by getting objectives. And objectives are generally the same for both players. And these would be like securing control points. Imagine, like, as you're not artistic, you have control points.
Yeah.
If you control them, at the end of each turn, you basically count up the victory points. That'd be and you score that many victory points. It meant, though, that players could steamroll very quickly early on, and you could basically if someone get an early lead, and you've got no chance of catching up. And when you're playing a game that could potentially last an hour and a half, and 30 minutes in, he's like, I've got no chance of catching up, and it's considered bad form just to quit.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a painful experience. Now they've capped victory points, how many you can score. So basically, it gives people a chance to catch up more. And also, you can now pick a secondary objective, which is like what you pick. So you can say, actually, this is what I want to do. So you can pick something that's better suited to your army, and so forth. They have these things called command points. This again was something they introduced in the previous editions. Command that use special abilities, or they call strategies. So it could be like, you could fire your weapons an extra turn, or this turn this weapon doesn't count as using it as overheating or something like that. You could do little things like that. And they cost you a number of points to do it.
Yeah.
Now you get it used to be how you used to get them, and this is where these get complicated. I will say it was very woolly the previous edition, how they writ things. It wasn't totally clear. They've made it a lot more clearer how things work. Your army was split into what they call detachments, and detachments would have like a set number of unit types and perform a detachment. So you might have an attachment might have like a couple of HQs, say 6 troop choices, 3 fast attack, 3 elites, 3 heavy, and a couple of flyers. And that if you had models that filled those, and you'd have like a couple of required slots, say 1 HQ and 2 troops you had to have. If you did that, then that was a detachment, and you just get a number of command points for it.
Sure.
Now it's the opposite way around. So if you want to take extra detachments, you have to buy them for command points. So you get given a fixed amount at the start of the game, but then you have to buy them if you want extra attachments, which is trying to, because they're trying to, which obviously because you get they what they call battle forged armies, which wants to use attachments. You don't have to do that. You can just have any mixture models you want on the tabletop, but you lose a lot of bonuses doing that. I personally prefer having detachments, because if you have a set of rules that put a structure of people to pick their armies to, you sort of narrow it down. Without that, what happens is people just tend to pick their biggest, toughest units and just field a whole army of them. And there's nothing to stop them doing that. But that's still technically in the game. They just call that open play when you do that. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that.
Sure.
I prefer the attachment paper where you have to pick from a certain type of unit types you're limited to. That's what I love. That's how I played
more
it.
Balanced that way.
It is, because you can't just spam your most powerful units, and it makes a choice of, okay, which units do I take? Hurt armies that have lots of elite choices, elites being more powerful units. Some ones which have lots of them, like Space Marines, it hurt because they could only pick, say, 3 of them. but mentions being a bit. Your armies, when you fielded an army, tend to have more of a structure to it. It felt like an army because it had like a core of troops, and then it'd have like some small specialists, small advanced, which made sense to me. Whereas in open play, you could fill a whole army of just your most elite troops. Just didn't really feel right to me. So they've changed that, shook that up as well. One thing that I had to pick up on, and this is because I'm a Tau player. Tau's my play. Tau is a race of space communists, basically. But then we're considered the guys of the universe. But as someone said, the good Tau in any other sci-fi say would be the bad guys. In Warhammer 4000, they're the good guys. So Tau basically, whereas most races, when they come to your planet, they say, right, you're going to die now. Your planet's ours now. Say goodbye to your loved ones. We're going to kill you all. And they kill you or take over your planet. The Tau comes and say, hey, do you want to join our empire? If you say yes, you become part of our empire. If you say no, we'll kill you all and we'll take over your planet. So that's why Tau are the good guys. That's why they're the good guys, because you see, you get choices. Yeah, you get a choice: die or join them. And so that's quite fair to them, Tau. Although it's implied that the Tau, there are rumors that Tau have concentration camps or re-education camps. They are, so in any other series, they'd be the bad guys, but in Warhammer 4000, they're the good guys by the Warhammer standards.
Sure.
Now, Tau armies had one. This is what everybody was bitching about some Tau forms. It was really a storm in the teacup. They had one feature that made them was an advantage in battle, but wasn't a great advantage.
Okay.
So when you charge an enemy unit, you get so let's say if your unit gets charged by an enemy unit, you can do what they call fire Overwatch. An Overwatch is basically a defensive attack before your enemy commit their charge, where you should shoot them. How it would work is you just do a normal shooting attack as normal, follow the normal rules, except your hits would only hit on a 6. So if you've got a unit of, say, 12 models, 2 are going to probably hit out of 12, because you're going to roll on average 1 6 to 2 hits. You then have to roll to ruin, they then have to save, and so forth. Tau had this ability called For the Greater Good, which meant that any unit nearby them, supporting unit nearby, that had the same rule, which most of the army did. So in the normal rules, if I charge your unit, only that unit can fire Overwatch, no one else can nearby it. Tau units can support each other. They can fire. So if I charge unit A and unit B and unit C are next to them, but not actually being charged, they can still fire as well.
Sure.
They can fire Overwatch. Yeah, they support each other. That's basically one of their abilities. Tau are shit in close combat. They're basically not. Their close combat troops they've got are like most armies' standard troops. So they are shit in close combat. They are a shooting army. They're about maneuverability, about shooting.
I've heard stories of your guys with laser pointers.
Yeah, we do that. We did do that. Yeah. The rule is now line of sight. You have to draw 1 millimeter size line of sight through something. Because before that, there was no minimum size. Now it's specified it's a millimeter in diameter. So I'm getting laser sight, a millimeter diameter laser on it. But yeah, so yeah, we do that. So we're a very shooting heavy army. Now, they changed the rules so that you'd have to use a command point to use Overwatch. You'd have to spend one of those command points you'd have, which you may only get like 12 in a game. You'd have to spend one to use Overwatch. And you wouldn't be able to trigger the Tau special ability about spending this command point. Well, the Tau players were in uproar. It's like, oh, that's our big strategic advantage has been destroyed by this new strategy. And I was like, and I also was just thinking, guys, it wasn't a strategic advantage. Like I say, if you get charged, odds are you get charged with a unit. Okay, the unit fire was 12 strong. They can fire double up close, so most are going to get 4 hits on average. The units next to them are probably going to get 4 hits each as well if they're nearby. That's 12 hits. Okay, out of those, probably half are going to wound, and out of those, perhaps 2 are going to cause damage, and then the unit's going to charge you anyway, and it's going to muddy you anyway. Yeah, unless you're lucky. So actually, Overwatch is a nice thing. It's nice, but it's not a breaking strategy. And I was of the opinion of, look, if your strategy revolves around getting charged and you're not good at close combat, you need to rethink your strategy.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make sense to me. They did actually patch it later on. They actually released another update saying for Tau, because they've been doing these like daily updates. They've been leaking, they've been saying what the new rules are going to be. And they've actually now released the core rules. You can just download them for free off the website. They've now released them. Yeah, because at the end of the day, the core rules don't matter. They want you buying the models and the books. So the core rules, you can download them for free now. So people can play 8th edition 9th edition right now. You can play it today.
Yeah.
If you want to, because most codes all the composers are compatible with the 9th edition. So, people up in arms about us and really crying. It's like, oh, for crying out. Even the Tau forums people go on about. It's like, don't be so stupid. It's not a big advantage. So they've now changed to Tau. Don't have to spend command points to use their Overwatch ability. They put that as another update for Tau.
Okay.
So basically, that's how it was. So they've sort of sorted that out. But again, it wasn't a big deal. I don't really want to go things. What is a big deal for Tau players is units that can fly. So in previous editions, in 8th edition, if your model could fly, if you're in close combat in your following turn, you could move out of close combat. They call it falling back. You can move out of close combat. Now, for most units, you move out of close combat, you can't shoot or do anything else that turn. You just like back off. For models which can fly, you can shoot still. A lot of the Tau's heavy infantry can fly, so if they're in close combat, they can just back off and just shoot straight to the unit and just attack them. That's a real useful advantage. It fixes their mobility and so forth. That is something they have got rid of. You can't now, if you fly and you back off, you can't shoot. They've removed that ability, which that is to me, that's more of a hit than the previous one. Yeah. The only thing I have got hopeful for Tau is I suspect there's going to be an extra rule come out for Tau. The reason is, all their codexes have these keywords. So each unit type will have a number of keywords. And they put them in there as basically an easy way to adjust rules. So the keyword will say like infantry, Tau, they might just say infantry / Tau, might say infantry, Tau, flyer, jump pack. And they'll put these keywords in. And basically, that means that the rule book will say, okay, if your model is an infantry model, it does this. And so if you've got the infantry keyword, that applies to you. Tau have a keyword called jetpack. But nowhere in the 8th edition rulebook does it mention jetpacks, and nowhere in the Tau Codex does it mention jetpacks. So there's a keyword there that's not in any of the rulebooks. Why did they put that keyword in it? My suspicion is they're going to add something into it later on. Perhaps the next edition, they're going to patch in an ability for that jetpack rule. Because the Tau book would have been written around the time that this edition was being made or being tested. So I suspect that jetpack was going to get something added into it as a date.
Makes sense.
But we'll see. But it makes sense. But yeah, the box set, it's got a big box set coming out this year. I will be buying the box set because I'm a sucker for box sets. I love box sets.
Sure.
Getting loads of models out of them. That's game pre-orders on July the 11th, is when pre-orders go live. And it's Space Marines versus Necrons. Necrons like these they're like the space undead. Like these metal robots, think like Terminator meets the undead. They are like these metal robots that basically, there's a race of people with very short lives. They used to live like 40 odd. So they made a deal to get turned to robots. And basically, they did this on this side. They didn't like this deal and decided to turn their masters and enslave their masters. But then eventually, they went to sleep millions of years ago. They're now waking back up.
Oh, fantastic.
But they're these metal warriors. They basically are they're basically Terminator T-1000. In that you kill them, they might just slag. They just teleport away and rebuild themselves.
Sure.
So yeah, they look cool. So they look like metal skeletons. But yeah, the new box set's going to be Space Marines for that. I will be getting the box set, mainly because I'm a sucker, and also because it's a cheap way to get loads of models, because it's got Space Marines, and I actually have a Space Marine army as well, and I'll get loads of models out of this box set for that army. So it's actually a cheap way of doing it.
Cool.
And I would say, actually, if you've not played, Warhammer boxes are definitely the way to go, because they give you effectively, I think the last one was like 2,000 point armies. And 1,000 point armies, well, an average game is only 1,500. So you're 2/3 up to an average size battle, and then at that point you buy extra units just to sort of supplement things.
Yeah.
Big games, I mean, most people play games 1,500 to 2,000 points, more around 1,500 mark. Massive games might be 3,000. So 1,000 points in a box set actually is pretty darn decent. to get you started, because you're most of the way got an army. You only need to pass a couple of extra units. You've got a full-size fledged army there and there. So if you're new to Warhammer, definitely worth pick up the box set if you're going to do it. Although I have to show a picture now because they've released there's a new model coming out for Space Marines, and it's already been nicknamed Mario Kart.
Right.
In fact, I might see if I quickly grab the picture for you now because it is hilarious. What it looks like, it just looks like a it's absolutely, utterly stupid. It just looks. It's called the Invicta Invader ATV. In fact, let me see if I can find it for you because this is so funny. Boxes going on. There's a wrong box. Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can copy it. Copy image, right. I will put a link on Imager for the show notes, and Skazz can look at this and have the laugh that I did. Look at that. Like I say, it's basically the Mario Kart.
That's fantastic.
Someone's already photoshopped Mario and Luigi onto it.
Good job.
Yeah. So marvelous. But yeah, I'm concerned for, as a tail player, I'm concerned what's going to happen to my army because everybody's concerned about it. Because I have a feeling we might be slightly knocked back initially.
Right.
But obviously, until I see the full rule book come out, they're going to be releasing a what they call chapter approved, which are basically like their rule patch books.
Okay.
So they release these books usually like every couple of years after the main game release. And this usually has things like they update all the points values for models. Mm-hmm. They might add an extra rule set. They might add an extra missions and so forth. Loads of all little bits and pieces. It usually also complements all the stuff they when they like over the course of the years they do the magazine. They might put in new battle modes, new missions, or new entire sort of sub parts of the game. They tend to amalgamate all into this chapter approved book, and you guess it's got all them all in it. Mm-hmm. So it's a single reference, but the main thing is they update all the rules and all the points values. So they're going to be doing that. They're also going to be launching their own app this year to make your own armies with. So you'll be able to make your armies on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, which is quite cool. I have to say, games were surprisingly, they're going the way that Dungeons and Dragons went, where they made stuff really open about how much information they gave out. Because D&D realised, actually, the important part isn't necessarily the main rules. It's all the stuff that goes with it. So D&D, you can download the core rules, including how to create characters, off D&D's website now, and actually play D&D with just those basic rules.
Yeah.
Warhammer's the same. You can download the core rules. Yes, you'll need a codex to do your army. But you buy that codex, you download the core rules, you're good to go, really, once you've got some models. Because they realise models is where they make their money.
Well, yeah, for sure. They ain't cheap.
It's not cheap, but then, to be fair, though, it's generally agreed, though, if you compare them to most war games, Citadel models are some of the best quality ones in terms of detail. I won't say that they're the best, but they are definitely up there. It's one of the better quality models that companies out there. So you compare them to a lot of other leading sort of tabletop brands out there, and actually they blow them out of the water in many cases.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, but you pay a premium for them.
Sure.
You pay a premium for them, but I love it. I love Warhammer. You know I'm a 40k fan, and I will get you to play a game at some point. So one day, maybe.
One day.
Once lockdown's over, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, good. Yeah, I just want to talk about that because it's as if by the time you hear this, pre-orders will be live. So go for it.
Cool.
Go spend your. It's probably like £90 the box set, I'd imagine. Probably pushing 100 actually, because they're usually about £90. They've probably gone up since then. So yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, that's all I want to talk about.
Rad.
That's me done. Anything else from yourself, Skazz?
No, that's everything, mate. I'm good.
Marvelous.
I'm going to go shoot people in the bayou, or I should say, get shot by people in the bayou.
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed, I think.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
I know. I'm going to bed. I need to finish tomorrow. I've got to finish this edit. I've got to cut a field. finish this edit off, and then I might have some spare time. I might go shooting some people in the bayou.
Woo!
So I have some spare time to do it.
Let us know.
I will do. I know I must just have a go at some more. I'm gonna have to just break my band, have a go at some more solo games, just to get in there a bit more.
Don't get me wrong, it's a ball ache, but it's a hell of a thrill when you manage to extract. Even if you're not gone for the bounty, if you can avoid players and cross the map, fantastic.
Yeah, so I will give that. I must brave it and give it a go.
Good luck.
So, thank you. So that's it for me then. Thank you for listening to the podcast. For me, Nicola, for me, Scott, and not for me, Skazz. For me, the SuffolkRam.
Skazz.
You can join us for our next podcast on July the 18th, 2020. You will also soon, hopefully, be able to listen to us in more places because we're now being hosted by someone else. So hopefully soon we won't be just on iTunes. We'll also be on Spotify. I think on Stitcher as well, for other platforms. So watch this space. That should be up soon. You can also listen to us on Anchor FM/RanNerds. But yeah, we should be getting everywhere soon. So thank you for watching on the SuffolkRam, and we will see you in a fortnight.
Woo.
Bye, buddy.
Oh, you forgot something.
Oh, what have I forgot?
RanNerds.
Oh yes, Game of RanNerds. So yes, every Tuesday, approximately 8 PM GMT, depending on what time we get the cup of teas made and the beers drunk. Mm-hmm. We do a live stream. You want to see that, you come to our individual Twitch channels. So I'm twitch.tv/TheSuffolkRam. And Skazz is...
Skazz. SK4ZZI0US.
That's what I was really after because you've got to spell it. So yeah, come join us for those Twitch streams. And yeah, we'll try playing games. We'll probably do some more Hunt. We'll also try some other games as well, I think, at some point in the future. Just to sort of
we start to become a Hunt podcast.
Yeah. I think we really must give the second part of that We Were Together game again. We must do the next part of that at some point. But yeah, come join us on a Tuesday for that. So and you can watch all the previous game nights on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/RanNerds. You'll be able to join us on that, where they have been very kind. They've been edited together through lots of blood, sweat, and tears.
Good job, Ram.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, you can watch all those in there. And even my sister has watched them, and she's enjoyed them. Has actually asked me when they're more going up. I said, well, we ain't played the games yet.
Fantastic. So, I'll get Zaber to record his view for the next one.
That would be really awesome. And my sister apparently found it hilarious with the spider.
Oh, mate, I couldn't breathe. I still laugh.
I was laughing at watching it back again. When I watched it back again, I was so funny.
That was great. That was brilliant. Go watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. I might even link to it in the show notes of this one so you can watch that Pacific episode and see me get fucking terrified.
Oh, it was great. Although there is a reason that you should be scared of it. Just
Why?
a bunch of corpses all stitched together in it.
It is. It's like legs, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
See? It's not even a regular spider. It's a fucked up, terrifying one that you can shoot, and it's good.
Yeah, it's like the butcher is actually like some sort of taxidermy thing gone wrong, apparently. That's what I heard.
It's great. It's just great.
Yeah. That's what I heard anyway. So, right then, we must end.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. See you then.